What's up guys, StokedMTB here, and today I will just show you how to overhaul and overall clean your bottom bracket. Let's get straight into the video, guys. So what you will need to start with is taking your cranks off. So for my cranks, I need the Park Tool bottom bracket T-9, and what I will do first is right here, I'll take this part, I'll put it in, fits perfectly, and I'll twist it to the left. It should be about hand tight, and twist to the left. You'll be able to take it off. It'll screw out, and then you'll be able to take it out. Sometimes it'll stay in there and you just take it off. Make sure you don't lose that. And then you will have 2 bolts on either end of your crank, and you'll need to loosen those up and you'll be able to pull the cranks off. Okay guys, my bolts are 5 millimeters, so I'll take my Allen keys and just righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, and twist to the left to take them out. I don't like to take them all the way out, just so I don't lose them. You don't have to keep track of them, and it's just a lot easier. So after you take the bolts out, and be sure not to strip these, it's bad if you strip them. Take them off, not all the way out, then you should be able to pop your crank off. But what I like to do first is, after you make sure they're 100% loose, is since I went one by, I'll take my chain off first so that doesn't get caught in anything, and you'll be able to take it right off. Don't need to take the pedal off or anything. And then, since the chain's already off, you will be able to usually just tap this out with your hand. You might need a hammer if it gets stuck. You'll be able to just tap this out, and it'll come right out. So then you have these out, and then you will need to take your bottom bracket out. So to take your bottom bracket out, this tool will come in handy again. And see, these will go onto my type of bottom bracket. And actually on the bottom bracket it says tighten goes this way, so to loosen will be the opposite direction of tightening it. So you'll just put it on, and then you will go the opposite way of tightening it, which would be loosening it. And then you'll be able to take these out. Sometimes if you don't have a bike stand, it's hard to hold the bike down while you do this. But then you will be able to break it loose. And in this case, it actually is righty-tighty, lefty-loosey for this side, the non-drive side. But the drive side is pretty much always reversed for everything, because of that's just how bikes are made, so that if you're pedaling, that you aren't loosening your pedals or your bottom bracket as you're pedaling, and then making your bike fall apart because of the direction you pedal. So then you'll be able to loosen that up, and then you can take the other side off the same way. So I like to put one foot on the seat, one foot on the handlebars, and it pretty much holds the bike 99% stable. So then you put this back in, and this one was a lot easier. Read the direction. The easy way to remember is, if you're going towards the front of the bike, it tightens it, and if you're going towards the back of the bike, it loosens it. That is a tip that you will learn, and it's really helpful too. So, making sure not to lose any parts of your bottom bracket, you'll be able to take it out, and then I'll show you guys how to clean it next. So guys, I'll show you right here. To do the full overhaul, you might even want to take this part out part of your bottom bracket. And the only way to take that out is if you try to pull it, it hits something. And people who haven't done this before might go, what's it hitting? It's actually hitting this screw right here. This screw does nothing but holds this part of your bottom bracket in. So just take a PH2, put it in, and go righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Take it out, just twist to the left. Make sure you don't lose it. My one right there. And then you should just be able to slide this right out. So now guys, I'll just show you the parts that I have for my bottom bracket. I have the 2 parts to hold it on the outside. Mine came with 2 spacers for the drive side, and the part that goes in the middle, and the screw that holds the middle part on. So as you can see, there is pink lube, and what I would suggest doing is just taking a paper towel and cleaning them all off, and then putting back on a clean paper towel so that your garage floor or whatever you're working on doesn't get dirt on the inside of your bottom bracket, because that will be really bad. So you clean that, and then you will also want to clean the excess lube out of the inside of your bottom bracket hole right there. And then while you're at it, you might even clean this part of your bike a little bit. So yeah, I'll show you guys a video. Let me just clean these real quick. So now we'll reassemble your bottom bracket and re-lube your bottom bracket. So in this, I have marine grease, and I will just put marine grease onto here. Use your finger, spread it across, and lube all of this up. And then I'll get a little bit inside the lines too. Make sure that basically just the whole thing is lubed, because more lube is better than less lube. Then I'll reinsert it back into the middle of the bottom bracket. And then I will grab my tiny screw here, and I'll put it back in the slot that I took it out of, and re-screw it back in. So to do that, you'll grab your screwdriver and just put it in all the way. And this should still be loosely, tighten it maybe a little bit, but this should, inside should still loosely move around in there. So then I will grab my drive side bottom bracket case. I don't know the exact name to call this, but you know where it goes. And then I will basically lube the threads inside of the bottom bracket. So I put some lube, this is marine grease, onto the threads. Take my finger, just wrap it around, getting all those threads, so then it will tighten up real good. Then you'll put some marine grease in these threads. You don't need a whole bunch, but it'll just go on way smoother if you put grease in these. And that's looking better. So then you will read it, and it says tighten that way. So you remember, you always tighten towards the front of the bike, technically, if you're looking at it down. And it will say which direction to tighten on it. And it'll also say if it's left or right. So make sure you have the right side, and you'll think of it as if you're sitting on the bike, your right foot would be on the right pedal. So make sure it says right. This will be on the right side. If it says right, and then say which direction to tighten, and I'll just put it in like that. So next, you will be putting your crank arms in. Just take all the old grease off of it. And then don't worry about the chain ring, just try to get actual metal. And then you'll take your marine grease or any glue or whatever you have. I just like marine grease. Make sure you get it all over and then inside the spindles. These little slots right here. You will need a little bit more because I like to get it all over this so then it's really smooth and quiet. And you'll have a nice smooth bottom bracket. So then once you've done that, you will insert it with the chain on the inside. And then make sure the chain is where it won't be in between, like that. And then it's okay if it's on the frame, because then if you put it on without the chain, there's no way of getting the chain onto your chain ring. So then once you've done that and you have lube right here, you will take your non-drive side crank arm. You can even clean it out a little bit, which I like to do if it was creaky before. Any spot it could have been had bad lube. Make sure if there's a spacer in it, you put it back. There's a little separator. And then you'll apply more grease. Grease is not bad to have, guys. And then we'll put grease in to just make this whole thing run smoother. And then we'll make sure you put it on the right way. And then just as we took it apart, you will take your Allen keys. Mine's a 5mm, and you will tighten it. Not 100% tight, but just tight. Not tight, but probably not even hand tight, just a decent so that it holds on. Make sure it's all the way out or in. Tighten it a little bit more. And then I like to put the lock back on. And this is where I try to let it loosey. So we'll be twisting it to the right to put it in. And why I like putting this on first is I don't even like tightening these bolts because sometimes you might not have your crank arm all the way in. It might be too far out and that could be really bad. So I'll tighten this a little bit more than needed, finger tight, and then that pulls them together. And then you will take your Allen keys and tighten them to probably 5 Newton meters, but it doesn't have to be exact. You just kind of have a feeling of where it is. And you'll tighten it. Newton meters, And then I'll go back to this and I'll loosen it a little bit because it's not supposed to be as tight as you can get it. It's supposed to be just probably a quarter turn looser than that. And like that. And then bar bracket should be running smoothly. Then you'll put your chain back on. To your chain ring. And your bike should be running smoothly with a bottom bracket that's not creaky. Comment what you want to see fixed on your bike next. See you in the next video.